What's going on, everyone? I'm just your average, everyday, atypical Canadian nerd here to react to your average, everyday, typical American man here to react to and learn from a video about great places to visit in Manitoba. Now, before we get started, I may clear my throat a few times because I'm still recovering from my first bout of COVID, for which I blame the Chinese Communist Party. Racist, bigoted, genocidal, terrible people they are. Not the Chinese people. The Chinese Communist Party, who hate their own people and all other people in the world. Yes, war is coming. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here about this video here, which unfortunately is about Manitoba, the province I might know the least about. I mean, it's the province I forget exists from time to time. I'll go through my head saying, okay, so we've got British Columbia, we've got Saskatchewan, we've got Alberta, we've got Ontario. I'll skip right by Manitoba and totally forget it exists, even though Manitoba is important. Yes, like Winnipeg. It's a major city in Canada, and I forget it exists. And I'm sorry if you happen to live there. I can't explain why I forget it, but I do. I've driven through Manitoba. I have stopped here and there in Manitoba, and my biggest memory of Manitoba is an A&W restaurant. I can't explain it. And so I might not have a lot of context to add to this video, but I am interested to get into it, see what they talk about, and see if, I don't know, Winnie the Pooh gets mentioned, because Winnie the Pooh was named after Winnipeg. And, well, let's just get this picture out of the way and get the video started.
What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the best places to visit in Manitoba. Now, not too long ago, I watched a little video that explained the 10 Canadian provinces to me, and it also ranked them from best to worst. And for some reason, Manitoba ended up falling all the way at number 10 as the worst ranked Canadian province.
I can't justify that. And again, I apologize to any Manitobans. I mean, no offense.
But I'm here today to look past all that and see some of the beauty and wonder and great things that Manitoba has to offer. I think, seriously, just because it was last in that list that was just made by, some person that could have been wrong, or they were trying to cite data, I'll give them that. They're trying to cite reasons for different statistics.
And that video was pretty good with its justifications. I don't necessarily agree with them, but it was well-founded.
Why Manitoba ranked really low in, quality of life as far as Canadian provinces go. But, looking past that, I'm interested to see what good things Manitoba has to offer. And I think even if it was the poorest ranked or the lowest ranked province, the worst province, the quote-unquote worst province in Canada, is probably still pretty fantastic,
Yeah.
It really is relative. Just because there are provinces that may have been ranked higher in that list, that still doesn't mean that Manitoba is a bad place to live. That's what I'm getting at here. Anyway.
Right, and a lot of opinions are subjective, and so one person saying that Manitoba is the worst does not represent all people in Canada, nor does it accurately represent Manitoba, as far as I know.
Anyway, if that makes any sense, hopefully this video here can show some, nice, cool places to visit in Manitoba, some of the culture there, and just give me a deeper, better sense of what's going on in Manitoba. I'm interested. So let's take a look.
And I'm also interested because obviously I need to know more about Manitoba because I know very little, and we're about to find out how little I know.
Hello guys, welcome to Travel Scout. We are going to provide you with information regarding the top tourist destinations in Manitoba in this video. Manitoba is a Canadian province located in the prairies. Manitoba.
The prairies.
Yes, as in the flat plains, known as prairie.
Located in the prairies.
Yeah, Manitoba is kind of the start of the prairies if you're going from Ontario towards BC, and then you've got Alberta and Saskatchewan, and they are the prairies collectively.
What does that mean? I kind of know what a prairie is. Manitoba.
There you go.
Prairies?
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of know what prairies are, then I think you have your answer already, right? Maybe that's just me because I'm born here in Canada. But yes, prairies are the flat plains.
Yeah. It's like these open plains with sort of tall grass. Yeah, that is what I thought a prairie was. Okay. There's a lot of prairies in Manitoba.
Manitoba is a Canadian province located in the prairies. Manitoba is the fifth most populous province in Canada, with a population of over 1.3 million people. The capital city of Winnipeg is the cultural and economic hub of the province.
Winnipeg. I've heard of Winnipeg.
Yes, that makes sense. It's 1.3 million people. No, that was the province. Anyway, a lot of people in Winnipeg, and yes, as mentioned, Winnie the Pooh, right? So the author of the Winnie the Pooh series would often visit the zoo with his son, where there was a bear who was named after the town. It was known as Winnie. And so that's where we got Winnie the Pooh. Now, Pooh is spelt with an H at the end, and for more information, look up Xi Jinping, the current ruler of the Chinese Communist Party, also known as Winnie the Pooh.
Huh. Never knew it was the capital of Manitoba, but that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm watching for.
Million people. The capital city of Winnipeg is the cultural and economic hub of the province. Manitoba is known for its prairies, parks, and lakes. Manitoba's economy is largely based on agriculture and forestry. The province also has a strong manufacturing sector.
Okay.
Major industries in Manitoba include food processing, transportation equipment, chemicals, and pharmaceuticals. Manitoba is home to several national parks, including Riding Mountain National Park and Wapusk National Park. The province also has many provincial parks, such as White.
Wow, a lot of parks. I'm hearing a lot of very natural related stuff.
Yes, and it goes pretty far north, which is why Churchill is a popular destination there, where you can see polar bears and beluga and more.
I mean, from what I've gathered, every Canadian province almost is like its own little planet. Now, maybe.
Now, practically, yeah. I mean, we've got a lot of wilderness, and a lot of that wilderness has been nationalized in the park system for protection.
Maybe that's too extreme, but each one does seem to have its own cultural identity. So I guess that's kind of what Manitoba is all about.
Shell Provincial Park and Turtle Mountain Provincial Park. 1. Churchill. The town of Churchill is located on the Hudson Bay in Manitoba, Canada. The town is known for its beluga whales and polar bears. Churchill is a popular tourist destination for people who want to see these amazing animals in their natural habitat.
Oh, wow. There's a whole... Churchill, was that a town or city?
Manitoba, Canada. Churchill. The town of Churchill is...
He's calling it a town. A town that's known for being able to see polar bears? And beluga whales? Sounds pretty amazing to me.
Yeah, I'd love to go there someday. Last time I looked it up, though, it was pretty booked, and the travel was ridiculous. Like, take 3 days to fly across the country, and then fly back across the country, and then to go to Churchill. It didn't make sense to me at the time, and still kind of doesn't. And that's okay. Life doesn't have to make sense, right? Just kind of roll with it. And, well, that's what they do up in Churchill, where they are on the Hudson's Bay, which is a water inlet, I suppose. And that's why the beluga. It is very far north, which is why the snow, the cold, the polar bears, and the snow is amplified because of the bay effect, right? Which is kind of takes the cold water from the north and sweeps the cold air along with it and increases the amount of snow.
Animals in their natural habitat. The town has a long history with the Hudson's Bay Company and was once an important trading post. Today, Churchill is a small town with a population of less than 1,000 people.
Wow.
Despite its small size, Churchill is a great place to visit if you're looking to see some of the most incredible animals on Earth. In addition,
Huh. You know, I have to say, I don't know if what they're showing right now is indicative of Manitoba or if this is just a random stock photo, but I have seen a lot more impressive looking naturescapes in Canada than what I'm seeing right here. Some rocks, some snow. I don't know if this is making the case for Manitoba as well as it could be.
Well, there are some people in the world who have never seen rocks exposed like this, nor have they seen this amount of snow. And I'm jealous. What can I say? Because the rocky lands and the snow-covered rocks are Canadian features, that's for sure. A lot of Canada sits on top of what's known as the Great Shield, which would be basically a huge rock layer, and it's not easy to farm on rocks, right?
to its wildlife, Churchill also offers visitors a chance to experience the Northern Lights, as well as dog sledding and ice fishing. With so much to see and do, it's no wonder that Churchill is one of the best places to visit in Manitoba.
Yeah, you can see the Northern Lights from Manitoba? Churchill, Manitoba?
Yes, they are northern lights visible when you go further north, and Churchill is in North Manitoba. Do I have to say more?
Can you see it from many parts of Canada?
Yes.
Now it's just got me wondering.
Yes, we are the Great White North, and many parts of the north you can see the northern lights. Logic.
Huh.
Churchill is one of the best places to visit in Manitoba for a number of reasons. First, there is the natural beauty of the area to enjoy. The town is located on the shores of Hudson Bay and is surrounded by stunning landscapes. There are also plenty of opportunities to see wildlife, including polar bears, belugas, and birds. Second, Churchill has a rich history and culture to explore. The town was an important trading post for centuries and has been home to Inuit, Cree, and Indian peoples.
Okay.
Today, visitors can learn about Churchill's past at museums and other historical sites. Finally, Churchill is a great place to enjoy outdoor activities like...
Yeah, that seems like a really big draw of Churchill. You better like the outdoors, because that's one of the major draws of it.
hiking, kayaking, and dog sledding. Whether you're looking for adventure or simply want to...
Would they stop showing this photo? Just stop showing this little photo here. It's not working.
I could be mistaken, but that is in fact a different photo of rocks, trees, water, and snow. I know, they look the same, but there's a lot of them.
In nature, Churchill is the perfect destination. 2. Hecla Island, an island off the coast of Lake Winnipeg, known for its hiking trails and birdwatching. Hecla Island is a beautiful place to visit, with plenty of hiking trails and birdwatching opportunities. The scenery is breathtaking, and the island is home to a variety of wildlife.
Cool.
It's a great place to get away from the hustle and bustle of city life and relax in nature.
Okay.
The island has many different species of birds, including the rare great gray owl.
Whoa.
Hecla Island is also home to a variety of other animals, such as deer, foxes, and hares. The island is a great place to hike and explore. There are also several beaches on the island where you can swim, sunbathe, or just relax.
If it's the warm season, that's for sure. No, I don't know much about Hecla Island, but it sounds like an average Canadian island with wildlife and trees and beaches. Cool.
Okay.
The island is a great place to hike and explore.
I mean, I know he called Manitoba the fifth most populated province, but everything they're showing just seems so empty. Maybe it's because they're just not showing like big major cities like I'm used to.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Is because there is a lot of space and comparatively not a lot of people. And most of the people are concentrated in big cities and in the south. So as you get further north, you're going to find fewer people, more wilderness. People are everywhere, of course. When you're talking population density, Canada has a very low density.
There are also several beaches on the island where you can relax and enjoy the scenery. If you're looking for a place to get away from it all, this is the perfect spot.
Oh, sorry. I think it's funny. They showed palm trees on beautiful sandy beaches, and I have a feeling that is not representative of Hecla Island. I could be wrong. I've never been. I just don't think that palm trees and Canada go together because of the cold.
3. The Forks.
The Forks.
An historic site in Winnipeg, situated at the confluence of the Red and Assiniboine rivers. The Forks has been a meeting place for centuries. First inhabited by Aboriginal peoples, the area was later settled by European fur traders. Today, it is a vibrant community hub with a thriving market, numerous restaurants and shops, and year-round events and activities. A visit to the...
You know what this may also be? They shot a lot of this in winter cold. So all the trees are dead and everything's a little gloomy looking, which is making everything seem less attractive than it might otherwise be.
Forks is not complete without taking a stroll along the riverside walkway or renting a canoe or paddleboard to explore the waterways. The Forks is a vibrant community hub located at the confluence of the Red and Assiniboine rivers. This unique spot in Winnipeg is rich with history and culture and offers something for everyone. The Forks National Historic Site is a great place to learn about the area's Aboriginal heritage. The 6,000-year-old site is home to numerous archaeological artifacts, as well as beautiful sculptures by Aboriginal artist Bear Clan Singer.
Oh, cool.
The Forks Market is the perfect place to grab a bite to eat, shop for souvenirs, or simply enjoy the lively atmosphere.
Okay.
With over 50 vendors offering everything from local produce to handcrafted jewelry, there's something for everyone at the Forks Market.
So I have worked with Tim Hortons' company for a long time, and I can't recall ever speaking with a Tim Hortons location in the Forks. I've definitely spoken to many in Winnipeg and in Churchill. There's at least one in Churchill, I know that. The Forks. It's not ringing any bells for me. And that's okay, right? Because I don't know everything. Then there could well be Tim Hortons locations there that just might not have associated with my company. Or I might not have spoken to them personally. And for years, I have been working as an overnighter, so if they're closed at night, it would make sense that I hadn't spoken to them in years. Yeah.
4. Riding Mountain National Park.
Okay.
A national park in Manitoba with hiking and biking trails, as well as lakes for swimming and fishing. The park also has a variety of wildlife, including bison, elk, and deer.
This is more up my alley. Some of the other nature stuff, they were talking about visiting polar bears and whales. Although cool, was a little less, structured than just going to this, like a hub, a national park, where you can probably see all sorts of wildlife, but still have a little more structure to it, know where you're going and exactly what to see. That's kind of more up my alley.
Yeah, well then, national parks, welcome to Canada, because they're everywhere.
Visitors can also go horseback riding, canoeing, and camping in the park. The park also has a variety of wildlife, including bison, elk, and deer. Visitors can also go horseback riding.
Bison, elk, and deer. We have deer in the United States, but
I've learned you also have bison. And I misspoke yesterday when I said that the buffalo were hunted to extinction. It was near extinction in the United States. They are there, as are moose, because there's a lot of northern states that kind of share the same land as our Canadian provinces. And so for anyone who I offended by talking about moose, buffalo, or bison, I apologize. I'm not perfect. I'm just a nerd. Yeah.
bison? Ooh, do we have elk? Oh. If we do, not much, and in very specific parts. Anyway,
Yeah, northern parts, I would assume, because I'm not a United States expert by any means.
interesting.
Of wildlife, including bison, elk, and deer. Visitors can also go horseback riding or hiking through the park to get a closer look at the animals.
Cool.
The Manitoba Wildlife Park is a great place to learn about the local wildlife and take some beautiful photos.
Sorry, but they had a plant sculpture of a bison.
Hiking through the park to get a closer look at the animals.
Yeah, so that is a moose, but it's not a real moose. It is made of plants, yes?
Moose. That's what it was. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
And take some beautiful photographs. The park offers a variety of activities, including guided walks and talks, birdwatching, and opportunities to view wildlife in their natural habitat.
Yeah, okay.
The Manitoba Wildlife Park is home to a wide variety of animals, including bison, elk, deer, moose, and bears. Visitors can also see plenty of birds, including eagles, hawks, and owls.
That's a beautiful tower.
A lot of wooden structures here, not old looking as in like castles and made of stone and mortar, but we're talking cabins, like a tower made out of wood. That's pretty cool.
And it makes sense because there's a lot of trees in Canada, and that's a great building resource.
The park is a great place to get up close and personal with nature.
Oh yeah, look at this thing. I really like this thing. This is like not even supposed to be the highlight of the whole video, but I mean, it's cool.
And it's also perfect for those who want to learn more about the local wildlife. 5. Whiteshell Provincial Park.
Okay.
Whiteshell Provincial Park is a provincial park in southeast Manitoba, approximately 120 kilometers east of the city of Winnipeg.
Okay.
A provincial park located in the southeastern part of the province, known for its camping and canoeing. Manitoba, known for its beautiful lakes and hiking trails. The park is also home to several important historical and
I could see that, by the way, what he's saying. I could see that as being a major point. From what I can see of Manitoba in this very limited view I have of it in this video, like if you enjoy hiking, experiencing nature, Manitoba has a lot of it to offer.
That's absolutely right. And these pictures are nice and green because it is in southeastern Manitoba, and the south is far warmer than the north, where everything can get really cold and the trees can be sparse because of the Great Shield. It's hard to grow trees on rocks. They do it. I mean, the trees do it. They're not bad at it. They're just not great at it. Yeah.
and cultural sites, including the Whiteshell River petroglyphs, which are some of the oldest known Aboriginal rock art in North America.
Okay, so I don't like how the narrator is pronouncing some words like kilometer, not kilometer, or kilometer. It's a kilometer. And petroglyphs. That's how you say it. It's a petroglyph.
Visitors to the park can enjoy swimming, canoeing, fishing, and hiking in the summer months, and
Okay.
cross-country skiing and snowshoeing in the winter. The park is considered to be a Class I protected area under the IUCN Protected Area Management categories.
I'm starting to think the narrator is an artificial voice, which would explain the mispronunciations, because we are very serious about pronouncing things correctly here in Canada. I don't know why, but hey, ask Brendan Fraser and he'll agree.
Yeah, this is cool. Like this, here we go. A nice drone video. This makes like this beautiful park actually look beautiful and gives it justice.
It is 275,210 hectares in size. The park protects areas representative of the Lake of the Woods ecoregion within the Boreal Shield ecozone. The park's protection also specifically extends to the Thai Creek Basin, an area of great spiritual significance to the indigenous peoples. 6. Canadian Museum for Human Rights.
Oh.
The Canadian Museum for Human Rights is located in Manitoba and is a must-see for anyone interested in human rights.
Manitoba's a big place, so that's not very specific. I don't know exactly where this place is, and I still don't.
A museum of human rights. Does that maybe mean it goes over the history of human rights in Canada? That'd be pretty interesting.
The museum is dedicated to raising awareness of human rights issues and promoting respect for all. The museum features interactive exhibits, films, and educational programs that bring these important issues to life.
Okay.
Visitors can also learn about the history of human rights in Canada, the world, and how we can work together to make a difference. The Canadian Museum for Human Rights is an important part of our country's history and should be on everyone's list of places to visit.
This is an interesting place that I have not been to, and I love going to museums. When I took a road trip across the country, we stopped at many museums along the way. Most of them were science and nature. I guess my family wasn't really interested in the civics and human rights at the time. But seems like a good place. We love our museums here.
This is cool.
The Canadian Museum for Human Rights is an important part of our country's history and should be on everyone's must-see list. The museum is located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and is the first new national museum to be built in Canada in over 40 years.
Oh, cool. Pretty recent then. I mean, maybe it was there when I was there. I don't know. That was a long time ago. And I think we only spent a day in Winnipeg. Bus transfers. And just had some time to kill, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's very futuristic looking, whereas everything else in Manitoba and Winnipeg was kind of very naturey, natural. This is like a very modern building.
The Canadian Museum for Human Rights is a place where everyone can learn about human rights and its history in Canada. The museum has interactive exhibits and tours that are both educational and enjoyable. It is a great place to visit for both children and adults alike.
Right.
Thank you guys for watching. Let us know your opinion in the comments section below. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video.
Okay. I did like that.
Yeah, so interesting places in Manitoba. Parks and a museum, a city and a town. Oh, and an island. Neat. And I suppose that will take us to our French word of the day. Not a lot to consider here, but I'm going to go with museum, which is a very simple translation, musée. It's like museum, but it's musée. Musée.
That was by Travel Scout. I gotta give that a like. Oh, it has no likes. I'm the first like. There you go. Wow. Building simulator. Get out of here. I do want to take a look at that. No, I don't. I was gonna look at the comments, but there are no comments. All right, that's that. I was having a little trouble at the beginning of this, setting this up, finding a lot of YouTube videos on really cool stuff in Manitoba. I don't know if that's because there's just a lack of videos about the subject or because there's a lack of cool stuff in Manitoba.
Well, that depends on your definition of cool. Like, I often refer to Ottawa as the city that fun forgot. But I mean, there is a lot of fun stuff to do in Ottawa. It's just, you compare it to a big city like Montreal or Toronto, and comparatively, there's not a lot. So if you're going to go and compare province to province, and, well, you're comparing things to each other that should not be compared, then comparatively you are going to find little in some places next to others. That makes sense, right? I mean, that's uh, welcome to Manitoba.
But all kidding aside, I did enjoy this video for what it was. It did have several very good points about good reasons to visit Manitoba, live in Manitoba. Like I said, it seemed extremely naturey and outdoorsy. They even said at the beginning that it's on the prairies, for crying out loud. That's the title description of it. So
Yeah, and my biggest memory from Manitoba is at the A&W restaurant, which was on the Trans-Canada Highway, also known as the One Road. And I remember in the parking lot looking around, and all I could see was grasslands, because that's the prairies for you.
I don't know if maybe it's appealing to a lot of Canadians. I'm sure the people who live in Manitoba love Manitoba, or maybe they don't. I don't know. Right? I have no idea. But from what I can see, I think my general insight was correct, where I was thinking, okay, Manitoba got ranked worst out of the 10 Canadian provinces, but that doesn't mean it's a bad place to go. It looks perfectly beautiful and interesting in its own way.
Absolutely. And I was almost in Manitoba a few months ago because I was on a road trip, right? And I went here and there in southern Ontario, and I thought, well, hey, now I can either go east or west, and Manitoba is pretty appealing. So is Nova Scotia. But after sitting in the car for about 4 hours on Highway 7 because there was a little traffic accident, I kind of didn't want to sit in my car for another 10 or so hours before even leaving Ontario. So the long, lonely car ride is kind of what dissuaded me from going. And maybe I'll take another shot at it sometime in the near future. It's just, when you sit in a car for 7 hours to get somewhere, and then you realize that's like maybe a third of the way until you get somewhere else, it's kind of discouraging. And that's the vast distances in Canada right there. Kind of discouraging. Because there are some parts of the One Road where if you run out of gas, you're walking a long time to get some more. Or if you have an engine breakdown, or if you fall off the road, you might not be found for a long time. And after hours upon hours upon hours of sitting in a car on a lonely road, you kind of just want to go home.
So, anyway, I found this very insightful. I very much was looking forward to take a deeper look into a lot of the Canadian provinces, starting with Manitoba, and I think this is exactly what I was looking for. Just more details, more insight into the stuff you can do and expect to see in the Canadian provinces individually. So I did enjoy this little look into Manitoba.
Yes, and I learned a few things about Manitoba. Not a lot, but I did. And so that's a worthwhile day. I personally live by a mantra, better every day. And part of better every day is learning at least one new thing every single day. And now I know that the Canadian Museum for Human Rights is in Winnipeg, which is in Manitoba, and worth a visit, apparently. Wow, these videos are showing me a lot of places that I should go. And I'm going to give that some thought. I might do it.
Anyway, if you enjoyed this little look as well, feel free
if you
to
did,
give this video a like or
go
leave
ahead.
a comment.
Yeah.
And if
your
you're
thoughts down
interested in
below.
more videos like this, me
Like this?
reacting to Canada,
me
Canadian
reacting to
culture,
him,
things in
reacting to
Canada that I've
us
never
and
seen before,
our things,
feel free to
go
subscribe
ahead.
for more.
Do
Until
it.
then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Yes, thank you very much for watching. I had a fun day today. I hope you enjoyed this video as well, and I appreciate your views, I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the comments, even the ones that say that I'm a clown and he's a clown and that we're boring or something. Like, I mean, that's not productive. If you're gonna criticize, be constructive in your criticism, right? Otherwise, who's the real clown? I don't think my nose is red enough to be the clown, but hey, whatever. That's fine. I've got things I gotta go do now, like clowning around. Maybe make a cream pie or something. I don't know. And well, I just want to say thanks again, and I hope y'all just keep being awesome. Bye.
Science, spirit, life.